Welcome everybody, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Tangent Scale Models IC Centralia Shop's Wide Vision Caboose. The model that I picked up, as you can see here, is the Illinois Central original split rail scheme from the 1970 onward time period. This was purchased from Lombard Hobbies a little bit ago for $108, and the retail price on this is $120. Before we get to the unboxing and review, do me a favor and subscribe if you're new, or if you find yourself coming back anyways. It's completely free, and honestly just helps me to one day make a couple bucks off this channel, so I really appreciate it. Do me a favor and like the video if you enjoy as well. Drop me a comment if you find anything interesting, and let's go ahead and get started. So I'll show you briefly the box here. This is very well done. There's an image on the front of the Caboose. Got a little bit on the sides here, the Tangent logo. And on the back, we have a big wall of text really here with details about the Caboose. But we'll go ahead and get this unboxed here. So this top cover just comes straight off. It's a pretty tight fit, but it's a pretty sturdy box. We have the Caboose here and documentation, information on the prototype here. It's very similar to that which is found on the back of the box. And then the big thing on this model is the lighting features. So here's a brief look. And we'll take a look at that, of course, on the track as well. We got information on the warranty, as well as replacement parts here as well. We've got foam. We'll check the secret pocket first. We do have a wand for the lights, as well as some extra marker flags and wind deflectors. And then of course we do have the model here in the plastic. So here's a quick look at that foam. Very well packaged. And we'll just move these out of the way real quick, just for now. We do have the standard clamshell packaging here. So you can slide that off and pop it open just like so. This does have the soft plastic on top here. And we can go ahead and pull out the Caboose. So I'll go ahead and give you a quick 360, and then we'll zoom in and take a look at the many details on this Caboose. It's very, very well done. I picked this up. It released last year, so it's been a little bit, but I thought it was so cool that it deserved its own review. So I know it's a little late, but hope you enjoy another look at this model. I wish I was able to also pick up a Canadian National version in the brown or gray paint schemes, but I was unable to find one in stock or at a decent price that I'd like to pay. So still very happy with this one so far. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and start taking a look at some of the details here. All right, so let's go ahead and start here with the side of the model. Per the lighting guide, the right side of this car with the chimney is the A end and the left side is the B end. So I'll refer to them as such throughout this review. So starting off, the big thing on this model is there are a ton of separately applied metal grab irons. We see them all around the sides here, on both sides, and even on the roof with the ladders. We'll go ahead and zoom in just a second as well, but we do have an interior you can see through the windows in both the body down below as well as up in the cupola. But let's go ahead and give you a quick zoom in here. We'll take another look as well when the lights are on the track. But you can see some of that fine printing, which is very well done. And there's a look at the end. We have this little portion right here. You can see to the right of that mesh. That's where those marker flags can be placed. You may need to drill those holes out just a little bit with a hand drill, but those are the locations for those flags. So we'll rotate here to the A end of the car. And on this version, we do have two sets of marker lights. We have red on the outside and green on the inside on both ends of the car. The Canadian National versions are different, as well as some of the other later versions of the IC, but the details around the end here or on this cage are pretty similar across all versions. We have an uncoupling lever and train line hoses here, as well as that brake wheel and ladder. But I'll give you a zoom in here. You can also see into the model just a little bit for the interior on that side. And again, we'll get to those lighting features on the track as well. But there's a quick look at the A end. And if I just rotate here, reposition, I'll just put it here. For the other side of the car, very similar levels of detail. We do have a different window arrangement. As you can see on this side, we had this window was sort of a half window on the other side, and this was a great window. So I'll just zoom in again here. You can see that we do have a little protrusion there on the C and central, maybe a little electrical box, I think, as well as that barcode on the side of the caboose here. And then just moving on to the B side, very similar to the A side, almost exactly the same. So I'll just go ahead and start with a zoom in here. We won't talk too much. We do have see-through perforated steps there as well. And this model does come factory equipped with Kadee couplers. And from my experience, although I don't have a coupler height gauge, they are at the correct heights. And according to my track gauge, also from Lombard Hobbies, the wheels are in spec as well. So we'll go ahead and take a quick look at the roof of the model here. We'll start with a zoom. You can see the smokestack there on the A end and that metal platform detail. We do have grab irons here around the cupola, and inside as well there is a light, which you can't see right now, but we'll take a look on the track power. Similar levels of detail here on the right side. This model has the Stanray roof, so if you purchase one with a different roof specified, you will have a different roof markings on your model. But this car also has some very well done underbody detail here. So we'll start and just zoom in for you. You can see that the road number there is marked in white. You can see pretty clearly there. You can see that we do have some see-through portions right above that first axle. So even on the steps as well as farther in on that cage on the end of the caboose. Lots of air detail and reservoir detail here all across the model. And there's a quick shot of the trucks for you, as well as that uncoupling lever on the side. And just a quick note before we move on to the light demonstration, this model does not have roller bearing wheels, so the bearing caps don't rotate, which is fine, but the wheels themselves do seem to be darkened on the inside, which looks pretty nice. It's not a rust color, that would be more prototypical, but it still looks really nice for this car. But let's move on to the lighting demonstration, which is really the big selling point on this caboose. All right, welcome on over to the test track here. Just want to show you again the lighting instructions here. The A end is matching the drawing here in terms of the lighting features here. So we do have the first switch in this area, just pointing with the reverse side of the wand here. That'll turn on the marker lights on the B end on our left side. To turn on the lights in the cupola, there's a switch around this area right here, and then on the A end side, you'll do the marker lights in a switch in that area. And since this model does use the magnetic wand, it functions in both DC and DCC. I currently have it running on a DCC powered track, but I've tested it on DC and it works exactly the same. The default position for the lights is in the off state, so even if the track power is on, the lights will be off, and if the track power is off and then comes back on, the lights will stay off. They won't return to the state they were in before, so you'll have to reset them with the wand. The caboose is equipped with capacitors, so it will eliminate flickering over less than perfect conducting track, but again, if it goes for too long without power, the capacitors will drain and then all the lights will turn off. I did want to start by showing you an issue with the lights and how you fix it. This is something that I received guidance from Tangent themselves. So it sounds like this has happened before, and it's to do with the marker lights. So the sequence for the markers is red, green, and then off again. So if you can see here, I've got the red on, the green does not come on, and now I should have turned them off. And then if I wave it again, it should come on to red. So the issue here is that the clamshell puts too much pressure on the side of the model, and there's little metal contacts here that keep the electricity flowing to the green lights in this case. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it to green, which is currently off. If I put pressure down here on the roof, you can see that the green lights come back on. So this should be fixed now on this model. The other side was not having this issue. So if this is happening to you, just put a little bit of pressure right in this area and have the lights in the correct sequence there. So you should be able to see those lights come back on. So now showing you here, we go to off, red, and green there. These marker lights do look fantastic. I really, really like them. That's why I went with this version as well, because it had both red and green, and I thought that was a really cool addition. So if we move on to the next light, the cupola light, that's in this area here. So I accidentally turned it on already. It's right above this smokestack here is the best spot for it. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here so you can see inside in the cupola with the light on. There is a full interior. Sorry, it's a little bouncy, with seats and such inside. You can kind of see into the interior here. The window is a little dark, so it is hard to see in. And of course the window on this side is blocked off. But I'll go ahead and show you the lights on the other side here, the other marker lights. Similar location on the roof and same sequence. Go from red to green, and then back off. You don't have to touch the caboose with the wand. You can be a little bit farther away, so that's very nice. And this is the same sequence that Rapido uses with their wands. So as you can see, I turned those lights off on the other side while these are still showing red here. I'll do a quick demo of the capacitor. So I'm going to remove it from the track here, and we'll take a look at this red side here. Still going here. They are very impressive capacitors. They finally turned off there. And then if I put it right back on the track. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble here. You'll see that the lights do not come back on. They return to their default off state. And I just wanted to turn off the lights real quick here and show you the lights in the dark as well. So we'll get the red lights on that side, the interior lights. We'll get the green ones on the other end here. So they're very, very bright in the dim here. I'll show you inside once again. There's a better look at that interior. You got seats and a stove and things that you can see and pick out. So it looks really, really well done. There's those green lights on the other side. Sorry if the quality totally dropped here. Just wanted to give you an idea of the night view to give you the best idea of what those lights look like. And we'll go ahead and finish off the demo portion of this review with a quick run by of a short train led by this CN 100th Anniversary GEVO. Alright, just want to finish off here with some final thoughts. Hope you enjoyed the demo section. That was the first time I've done a review in the dark, so I hope that the lights came through well and you can still see. We'll see how it looks on YouTube. If not, if you skipped over it, that's perfectly okay too. First time for everything here. But talking about price for a moment, at $108 for what I paid for it, this is pretty worth it in terms of the cabooses that are coming out recently, with all the lighting features it's got. It looks really sharp. The printing's great. The details are phenomenal. The only minor issue, like I mentioned, that I have is that lighting issue on this side, where all I have to do is press down right there to make sure that the green lights come on. Not a big deal. I honestly don't use the green lights too often. I typically end up using the red, but still very nice to have that option, and it's nice to know that it's a pretty easy fix. I'm sure there's a way to maybe add a little piece of metal inside the body, but I didn't want to take the Caboose apart just to do that, since I still have an easy fix for it. And one thing I forgot to mention while I had the car on its side, the power pickups are actually on the front face of the wheels, unlike most manufacturers, which will have it on the inside face here. So I think that does help to eliminate the increased friction from that power pickup. Typically, manufacturers have that on that larger face of the wheel, so that smaller contact area helps to allow this car to roll freely, which it does very well. So props to Tangent for figuring that out. It's not a new thing to have that pickup like that, but it's nice to see that Tangent have implemented that on this Caboose. Tangent does a really good job making Cabooses. All their reviews I've seen from them are phenomenal. This one, fantastic. So I hope to pick up more from them in the future as well. Other things I like about this model, love that it comes stock with Kadee metal couplers at the right height, wheels engaged, details are phenomenal. Very, very well done, Tangent. This car looks great on the track. I don't even have to run it with Illinois Central equipment to have it look nice. I really do like this paint scheme as well. Love the IC there. Very happy with this model, you can't tell, so glad to have it as part of the collection here. But I think that'll just wrap up our review here today. If you made it this far, do me a favor and subscribe if you find yourself coming back anyways. Like the video if you enjoyed. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.